What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Hope everybody's doing good today. It's a beautiful Wednesday today. I'm forgetting my days of the week. And it is my birthday today, y'all. I'm so happy. As I said in the other video, I'm happy that I made it through another year. So, that's always means something. So I'm just going to talk about some random topics, and then I'll just talk more about just birthday and life. What's ever on my mind today? Excuse me, I had all this drainage. Had some drainage last night, and it was just so weird. Before I wasn't having problems, then right when I'm about to go to sleep, then I have some problems. And then I was having trouble going to sleep then. But, allergies, what you gonna do? But anyway, let's get into it. And first we're going to get into this UK generational ban on smoking. And I have heard about this before when they proposed it. It was just them, talking about it at the time. I didn't think that it would actually pass. But it actually did not too long ago. And I could be wrong, but I don't see this working. I really just don't. It's kind of like with prohibition in the U.S. They ban alcohol, and that didn't stop nobody from drinking. Shit, if people gonna drink, they gonna drink. One of the two things that I've realized in life that people are always going to do, human beings just always gonna do these two things. Some human beings are always gonna do these two things, because of course not everybody does these things, is smoking and drinking. And you ain't shit you gonna do to stop them. Ain't shit you can do to stop them, excuse me. Because, it's just not gonna happen. Now with smoking, I really don't have a strong opinion on it. I don't really care about people smoking, really. With the times that the smoke does affect me is when my allergies are bad. Would I get with somebody romantically that smokes? No, I probably wouldn't. That's just me on that. But, but I do, get people not wanting, that smoke to be around them and everything, because at the end of the day, it can get in your clothes and then you smell like smoke. And, I get that, but, and then you have people, smoking and with health stuff. I get that, but at the end of the day, people are adults, and they gonna do what they want to do, because anybody and I forgot to add, anybody born after 2008, they're not ever gonna be able to smoke even after they're of age. And I looked at some videos on it, and you see people's different reactions to it. And one of the reactions that I already expected is, talking to some young folk, they were basically saying like, yeah, that ain't gonna do shit. If I want to smoke, I'm gonna smoke, just like, and they said, just like if I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink. And that's the truth. That really is the truth. There'll never be just nobody smoking, not bleh. I need to get my words up. They will never, ever, 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 it doesn't matter where it is on this on this earth, there would never, ever, ever be nobody not smoking. Because over the years, over the decades, in different parts of the world, I do know the US, smoking has gone down a lot. I'm not sure about the UK. I think smoking did go down a lot. If anybody knows different on that, please let me know in the comments. But I do know that in a lot of places in the world, people don't really smoke like they used to, like back in the day. Back in like 50s, 60s, and even part of the 70s, you had a lot of people smoking. You had I think, like, not everybody, but most, it seemed like most people did smoke. But over time, that all the numbers went down. So yeah, but they trying to stop people from smoking completely. And as I said, that's not good. I don't see that working out. And the other thing to me in general, a lot of times bans just don't work. They just don't. you know, I think with this kind of thing, it's just I think they should, have people out in communities, just educating people more, on smoking, tobacco, all that stuff. I think that would be a better option than doing bans. And of course, even with going out and educating people and all that stuff, putting more efforts into that, there's still, of course, always be people smoking. So, that's just the reality of it. So, you'll never get rid of it completely. Just like you'll never get rid of people drinking completely. Always be people doing those two things, always. But anyway, tell me your thoughts on that, and we'll move it on to the next topic. Excuse me. Next, we're talking about what's her name, Tina Campbell or whatever her last name is, and her divorce from her husband. And the thing is, that man's been dogging her out for years and years and years, and he finally just left her. Because I really don't get this whole thing of staying with a motherfucker that constantly cheats on you, constantly disrespects you. Because somebody cheats on you constantly, that's really disrespectful. He's probably being really disrespectful in other ways too, and he probably treated her like shit, but she still took it and stayed with this motherfucker. And at that point, I don't really have sympathy for you, because you could leave him. And to me, when these type of women stay with a man, they martyring themselves. I really just don't get it, because who this man is. He's shown you and even told you in a bunch of different ways, because people don't have to tell you outright. They can tell you in a bunch of different ways who they are. And, but you still choose to stay with him. And, I just don't get it. And, the other thing is, with these really religious people, especially these really religious women, they have a toxic view on relationships. And, because Christianity and even these other religions, that are, male-centered. Well, honestly, most religions are male-centered, but, I'll stick to the Abrahamic religions. A lot of, they're pretty male-centered. Excuse me. And, it's like, well, not like, it's no matter what, I gotta stay married. No matter what he's doing, he could be cheating on me, he could be abusing me in different ways. I still gotta stay with him. And the toxic things that they say about some of these relationships, it's just crazy. Like, and this is one thing that I've actually heard in my private life, is that my god sister was talking about her friend. She's an older lady. Her friend's husband, and how he abused her. And she said she prayed and prayed and prayed and all that stuff, and then one day he magically just stopped doing it. And at the end of the day, that's bullshit. Because and I'm not gonna lie, when my god sister told me this, I said, like, it kind of looked like, and I was saying this in the most respectful way possible. I said, it kind of looked like she's desperate to be with a man. And my god sister jumped in, and she defended her friend. Okay, she said, like, no, she's not like that and everything. I was like, okay, I'll let that go. I'm not about to argue with her over that. But at the end of the day, I still think that's bullshit, because the reason why he stopped knocking your head between the washer and dryer is because he got old. he got old, incapacitated some type of way, or sick to where, you know, he can't do that shit to you no more. So, I mean, that's it's real. When I think about it, it's actually really scary how you have a lot of, like, you know, religious people that that they have this view of marriage and just relationships, and you know, that's none of that is healthy. You know, it don't, because I mean, yeah, if a man's not, like, you know, abusing you, he could still be disrespecting you and cheating on you, like in Tina's case. And in another case, the man actually abusing you, and you still, you know, and you think that you praying is gonna stop him from doing that he's gonna suddenly change. And, you know, and you got a bunch of other scenarios too. And it's just so crazy with that. But anyway, you know, he left her because she wasn't about to leave him. But you know, I think that was gonna happen at some point, because, you know, he just got tired. You know, I guess he got tired of, like, you know, doing that whole game of, you know, he cheats, then she be all rah 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 at him, and you know, they go back and forth, and then after a while they just settle down, and all right, sorry, I'm back, had to let the dog out. But anyway, you know, he got tired of, you know, doing that whole little song and dance where, you know, as I said, he cheats, and then she gets all rah 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 with him, and then, you know, they go back and forth and all this, and then at the end of the day she settles down, and, you know, like, he apologizes, which don't mean shit, because he's gonna do it again. Because I mean, to me, when these men cheat and you forgive them, you know, they see you as a dumbass. They really see you as a fucking fool. They see you as somebody that, you know, they can play with. So, you know, but, you know, she settles down and just be like, okay, I forgive you and all that. But then it happens again, and then we do this whole thing again and again and again and again and again, and that gets that gets exhausting after a while, because you know, even you know, thinking about it, I can't even imagine going through all of that. Cause shit, with me, I'm not gonna let no nigga stress me out or do all that to me. Cause hey, you cheat and you do all that, I'm done. I'm not even gonna be all rah 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 and all this stuff and everything. Be like, okay, I mean, you know, I'm gonna set you free. You free now. Go fuck all the bitches you wanna fuck. Cause I mean, you can go, you're free to do whatever the hell you wanna do. I'm not gonna be doing that whole rah 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 thing, and then, you know, you saying that you sorry, and then me forgiving you and all that. No. Because, I mean, to me, like, these women just shouldn't be given no second chances, because then that turns into thirds, fourths, fifths, sixth, 7 plus times, and it's just countless times on that. So, you know. So, yeah. But anyway, let's move on to talking about just life moving forward for me. And, you know, as I said, like, you know, and I've said this in other videos too, y'all probably gonna get tired of me talking about it, but, you know, hey, I don't care. This is what, you know, one of the things I really like to talk about is, you know, traveling, and, you know, my plans to travel, and, you know, the countries I might want to go to. I would love to go back to Britain, and then, like, you know, just travel around the UK. Because when I traveled about, shit, it'd be like 10 plus years ago now. But it's so crazy how long ago it was now. But when I traveled with, my school. It was, we were in Britain, but, and we were in what part of Britain? We were in London, but we didn't really go outside of London. Well, I mean, we did go out to the countryside to the town of Bath. That was just about the only thing. So, and then went right back to London and traveled around and, all of that. So, didn't go like too far, but yeah. So, I would go, travel around the UK because I really want to do that, and I think I would really like to, I think I've talked about in other videos, I would love to go to Thailand and, explore there. Thailand seems like a really beautiful place. Well, not seems, I know it is a really beautiful place. And, just want to explore there. And, let's see, where else I want to go? Like, I'll go back to other parts of Asia. I'll go back to Japan because I went to Japan before with my school. And the only difference now is with that is I won't have to deal with people acting a fucking fool. So that's always a plus because they on that Japan trip, they were acting a goddamn fool. On the London trip, they were acting a fool too, but with the Japan trip, it was just so much worse. It was so embarrassing being in a group with them motherfuckers. Whew. So yeah, no, with that. But yeah, go back to Japan and maybe explore. Well, not maybe. I want to explore other parts of Asia too. I'm not sure where, but where else. But I want to do that. And let's see, where else? I think I would like to go visit Australia and then New Zealand too. That's they're very beautiful countries, and those are my the places where I want to go right off the top of my head. So well, actually, I was reading and about people traveling to Cambodia, and I would like to go travel there too. That would be nice. So yeah, that's just some of the places off the top of my head. And as I've said with solo traveling, me being a woman solo traveling, it's of course like it can be very safe with being a solo female traveler. Of course though, but being a woman in this world, you gotta be careful, but it can be fine. But just traveling by yourself, I've never done that before. I've never traveled to another country by myself, so that's a whole nother thing. I've traveled to out of state on a plane by myself. That's not a big deal for me. It's a whole nother thing, as I said, traveling all the way to another country all by myself. So that is I don't know, it's kind of nerve-wracking, but at the same time it's kind of exciting. So I don't know, we'll see. If I can't find nobody to go with me, then hey, I'll go by myself. So yeah, but yeah, so that'll be a very late birthday present to myself, because let's give me traveling right now, going through these airports right now is just crazy. It's just too crazy right now. And with ICE being there, hell no. Wherever ICE is at, I am not gonna be at. I will not go. Because you just never know what will happen with them. Because it's just, we already know the shit that they capable of. I'm not trying to get my ass beat and other shit happen to me. hell no. So it'll be a while before I travel. With travel in general, even just like, flying out of state to somewhere, I'm just not going to an airport, period. So yeah, I mean, for travel this summer, I think it's probably going to be rough. So this summer's probably just off, but maybe later on actually, I think I'll be optimistic about it. I think later on it'll be things will probably get better. So, but in times like these, you got to especially be careful as somebody black, and especially as a black woman. So, that's just what you got to do. But anyway, yeah. And other things that I want to do in life is just grow as a person. And I'm doing that, but that's something that I always want to keep in mind and always do. I always want to be, as I said, growing and evolving. I don't ever want to be stagnant. And yeah, it's always good for self-improvement. So yeah, but anyway, I think that's all I got to say for this video. And for my birthday, I'm not doing a lot. It's on a weekday, so I'm not gonna go out and partying or nothing. So yeah, I think I'll just go out to eat. Maybe have a little drink and then go on home. So that's what I think I'll do. But anyway, that's the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.